It's not Scott Snot, it's hot sauce, Haas.
Today, Wednesday, January 27th, 2016. Sniffin Arts, or The Problem with Everything. Hey everybody, I am Holiday Rob.
I'm Lowki Sapfoot.
And today we have in studio in the problem hole,
Zane Bo.
Yeah.
Zane White up in this motherfucker.
Or this fatherfucker, either way. Depends on what you're into.
You're going to want to get your
Uncle
Google
fucker.
machine ready. You're going to want to Google Damien Hurst. We're going to be talking about that.
Yeah.
And then you're going to want to open another window and you're going to want to go to zanewhitemountain.com so you can see our guest's artwork and what he's all about.
It's interactive. This is an interactive podcast, a casting of pods.
We got the audio. Now you just got to get on that Google machine and figure out the visuals. Man, this fucking IPA is kicking in.
Yeah.
I feel like when you go from this intro to the actual podcast, my voice is going to get way more clear suddenly.
Right, yeah. It's the break. Sometimes during the first song, you just... Yep, okay. No, my voice sounds like gravel. I gargled with gravel.
Should be drinking wheatgrass juice instead of this booze. We'd be living longer.
I know. We'd have those like extra 3 years at the end where we're just shitting ourselves.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's injury time anyway. I don't want to play during that.
It's called quality of life, not quantity of life.
Right. That's like...
Yeah.
That's like you're getting blown out 62-3. Yeah, but we want to play 5 minutes longer. No, you don't. You just want to get off the field at that point.
The sooner I can get off and do some cocaine and party, the better. Cocaine.
Cocaine.
Some
A little bit of
A
cocaine.
little bit of cocaine.
Anyway, in this podcast, you'll hear us talk about art and the art world and the real world and the political world. And...
all things that make you groan.
yeah, things that make you go, ugh.
But also getting to talk with our second time guest. I think you're the only second time guest, right?
No, we had
Josh.
Wash, Farmer Josh.
But you're 2-2 all the way. You're the second guest for the second time.
right.
So
Deuces are wild, as Vin Scully would say.
there we go. So
It's a lucky one. This podcast will make us all rich.
it already is. It's making us culturally and intellectually rich and vulgarly rich.
If you'd like to help make us rich, you can find us on iTunes, where you can subscribe.
And you can rate us, give us 5 stars, whether we deserve it or not.
Oh, we deserve it. we work hard on this shit.
Yeah, so just punch us in The Problem with Everything. You can also check us out on SoundCloud.com. And we also are on the Facebook.
Le Facebook.
Apparently it is the future of social media.
I think it's the past of social media.
Yeah, I think we're in the past of that, man.
I think old people use Facebook at this point.
My mom is on there? Yeah. She can see what I post when I share my Bernie Sanders memes. That's all I share. If you
Feel the burn.
Feel the burn.
So lame. God, that's lame. That's one of the lamest things. I just want to vote for Trump. Fuck it.
What should it be?
It's all pro wrestling anyway.
Just because he's an old Jewish guy, it should be feel the matzo balls. Which are delicious, by the way. If you want to see what we're up to, see what we're doing, see what's going on, you can catch me on Twitter as Holiday Rob, at Holiday Rob. All of the above.
Holiday Rob in Holiday Rob.
Featuring
Coming this
Holiday
summer.
Rob. Written by Holiday Rob. Directed by. And where can the nice people find you?
They can find me on the Twitter as well, at Sapfoot. You can also find us in the video game world. I'm on the Xbox One. Although Nintendo has been taken over. I've been playing way more Nintendo. I don't know if that's just because it's newer to me, but Mario is more fun than shooting guns at this point.
You're in the creative world.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. But if you want to play some kind of Xbox game with me, maybe a little hockey, maybe you want to compare notes on Fallout 4 a little bit, you can find me Live World 23. If you want to play some Nintendo games, I'm on there with the Wii U as well. We could play Smash Bros.
Or you can check out your levels, man. You make some fucking levels.
Yeah, I got some levels in Super Mario Maker.
That's sick.
Living the dream. If 8-year-old me knew when I was 31 years old that I'd be making my own Mario levels and playing them,
He would have shit himself with excitement.
This is it. This is the pinnacle. I don't need to accomplish anything else in my life to make 8-year-old me happy. This is it. I've made it.
Yeah.
But you can find me on there, Lowki Sapfoot with a W in the middle. LOWKI Sapfoot on the Nintendo Network or whatever the fuck it's called. And yeah.
And if you want to find me, I'm still playing PlayStation 3, which is apparently only viable for South Americans and Central Americans, because that's all that seems. That's all. I'm like, I don't know Spanish well enough. Sorry, bro, I can't talk to you. But I'm on a PlayStation 3. You can get me at holiday_SAIL, holiday sale. I predominantly play right now Dust 514, which is a fantastic game, and they're going to sponsor me soon because I suck so bad at it. But I also play Battlefield 3 and Wipeout Fusion. Yeah. Also, any upcoming shows or events, if we get this thing out by the end of this week, Quietly Kept does have a show sometime this weekend at Distillery 365.
I'm gonna edit this tonight. I'm doing the one night turnaround.
Oh my God.
Since we're recording on Wednesday, so it'll be out tonight / tomorrow morning.
Yes, son.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can check us out, Quietly Kept at quietlykept.com. And then we're all over the internet. You just punch in Quietly Kept music, band, whatever. We'll be playing at 365 Distillery. It is delicious. Good people. Tip your bartender, Jake. He's a bartist, man. He's a bartending artist.
Go to LowkiSapfoot.com and notice that there's just a GoDaddy placeholder there. And when you're done with that, open your email account and email me at LowkiSapfoot@gmail.com and be like, what the fuck? Why isn't your website done? Put that shit up. I want to see something there. Why are you paying month after month for this website? You're not even using it. And then maybe that'll give me the impetus needed to actually put the website up.
But more importantly, you can donate to him too. So
yeah. Send me email me and we'll talk about sending me checks for thousands of dollars. Email me a twat shot or a dick pic, LowkiSapfoot@gmail.com. Is there anything else we need to say before we start the show?
I don't think so. I think we can jump right into it and get us to the Zane.
ZaneWhiteMountain.com. ZaneWhiteMountain.com. Enjoy the show. Word up. Right. We're supposed to do a song.
Oh, damn. Yeah, that thing. Oh.
Let's do one. Let's do Blood Song.
Yes.
Right? Okay. I acted like I thought of it. Rob thought of it, and then I pushed record, and then I said it. Totally just taking the wind out of his sails, stealing his thunder.
I will kill your family.
This is Blood Song. Blood Song by Batwings for Lab Rats.
Take all that you enslavement of physical pain and enduring, curing my brain with immediacy. This is carnal and free. Bleed, 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 bleed.
Fight for the air and reach for the sun. We don't let it go.
Bleed, 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 bleed.
Take all you want, take it all away from me. Take all that you know.
Bleed, 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 bleed. Yo. Comfortable in my bubble while the whirlwind buzz. Simple the times chime, the back of my mind. I'm thinking about sugar, fixing to bug out, shrugged out down. Past perception, a noun, sound of revelation. Muffled by occupation, preoccupied, incessant obsession. Patient, waiting, sighing, hiding, hiding from the wild. Wild seeds silently ripen inside. Fly away stone, fly away stone, fly away stone, fly away stone, fly away stone. Someday we will make it home. Someday we will make it home. Someday we will make it home.
We fight for the air and reach for the sun. We don't let it go. So take all you want, take it all away from me. Take all that you know.
Bleed, 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 bleed.
Fight for the air and reach for the sun. We don't let it go.
Bleed, 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 bleed.
Take all you want, take it all away from me. Take all that you know.
Bleed, 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 bleed.
Or Kung Pai, whichever of the evil access countries you want to.
Kung Pai.
This podcast is brought to you by La Cumbre Elevated IPA. The artwork kind of looks like a vagina. Maybe that's just what's on my mind. The way the mountain looks
Yeah.
kind of looks like some vulva,
It's appropriate.
But if
some
you're,
labia minora or whatever.
but only if you were shooting it from a low angle.
I just came up with a joke. I stuck 8 candles in my girlfriend's vagina. You know what I called it? Labia minora. Anyway, this is the
pretty
problem
good, man.
with everything. I'm Lowki Sapfoot.
I'm Holiday Rob.
Rob's eating toast obnoxiously into the mic. Was I not supposed to start like talking all official yet? Because you were still eating toast.
No, that's fine.
All right,
That's my gang name. Cheese Toast.
cheese toast. We have a guest again. 2 guests in a row. 2 weeks in a row. 2 guests.
Make it a twofer.
We're 2 for 3 now in the month of January. So we're batting 667 right now.
By the end of this year, we're gonna have had 20 to 30 guests,
Yeah. Hopefully,
possibly,
at least. Maybe we'll have like 51 guests. Right?
or at least 31, like Baskin Robbins.
Yeah. I don't know. Our guest this week is, excuse me, pardon me. It's Zane White. You may have heard him on the podcast before, but probably not because nobody listens to this shit. But,
I listen to it sometimes.
nice. I appreciate that.
But then again, I'm like bored painting in my studio
You've already listened to all the
For-
good podcasts.
hours and hours. I don't know. I don't listen to too many podcasts nowadays.
Zane is an expert on art.
The artistic arts.
He's got a degree in that shit. As do I, but Zane has done more with it, I think. Or at least actually followed that pursuit.
You've eaten food because of your art more than most.
Yeah. I haven't sold shit. Well, it's not about like the worldly success. That's not what I mean so much as the the dedication to the path.
Yeah. I'm gonna make a loud sound real quick. Sorry.
Ooh, foil on a podcast. Yes, I don't know, wasn't that bad.
Okay.
Yeah, that was pretty. Could start drumming to that. Realistically, I haven't made that much money off my art. Honestly, sold a few paintings and a bunch of ceramics, but
Right, but
it's fucking. I'd rather.
Why do I have to pay $500 for a 2x2 foot painting? Why do I have to pay $500?
you don't have to.
Well, a 2x2 foot. I would say
pretty good size.
it is worth the labor when you spend a lot of money on art. But unfortunately, we live in a society that doesn't. It's not around as much as it was back in the 50s and 60s.
I think attention span is the culprit. I think that's what it is. I was thinking about it today. Like, when I surf Reddit or whatever, or if I do a Google image search, I look at each link or image for 3/4 of a second before I move on to the next thing.
Well, I mean, you're looking for porn, so of course.
Well,
You're scanning. Basically, you're scanning.
right.
Yeah, I mean, no, attention span is a big culprit, but I also think it's part of the economics and part of a certain amount of social engineering as to why young people are burdened in such a situation that we don't have an art scene. And even in music too, it's not the same as it was 10 years ago. I teach high school kids now. I've been teaching a bunch of different levels, and a lot of them still listen to the same fucking music that we basically grew up on in high school too, and post high school. There hasn't been a resurgent or another big another wave of different music, or just a change.
Yeah. There's new bands though. There's all kinds of new shit.
But you
There's
feel
There's definitely new bands and new shit, but I don't feel like it's as popular. It has made it into because of the saturation of music too.
right. So there's so
a
many
lot of
choices.
different things. But it's not there's not a predominant this is the new era of art, or this is the new scene of music,
The
after
remix.
the 2000s, it was there's definitely new genres that came out.
The sample and the remix is
Yeah.
the order of the millennium. That's what it is. In art and in music, it's all about sampling and reusing, appropriating. That's the whole.
That's where art
whole
is
thing.
in general. I think right now is just appropriating.
But you're right. It's been stuck there since. I'm a shitty art history student, but the guy that just took pictures of magazine covers, he would photograph a magazine cover and then put it in a gallery.
Man.
He's just Time magazine, and he just takes the picture and then puts it. But that was in the early 90s, I think.
Okay.
And we're still stuck on that. It's there's nothing new to make, and we realize that now.
Well,
so it's
absolutely annoying because you're trying to make new music. You're I'm trying to make new shit, and then people are like, "Oh my god, did you see the cover that whatever comedic star did in drag?" And it's all about covers and
right.
like you said, remixing, redoing, recovering, fucking hashing, regurgitating.
Look at the movies too.
Well,
the
that
popular
too, right?
movies.
The reboots and the remakes and the. What's the difference between a reboot and a remake? Is it the same thing?
Reboot exists in the same universe, but isn't the same thing at all. I guess the new Star Trek movies are a different timeline than the
Right.
original Star
It's
Trek
just-
movies, but it's all the same characters.
But isn't that the same thing as a remake?
No, well, no, because in a remake, what you do is you try and shoot it. Psycho would be a remake. Gus Van Sant.
Oh, so a
doing
remake
Psycho.
is more true to the original.
Yeah, it's just trying to. It's basically like King Kong. King Kong's a remake, but King Kong gets remade every generation.
Yeah.
Like they did with Jessica Lange in the 70s, and then Lord of the Rings came and was like, "Oh, I'm gonna give you 45 minutes of a chase scene. That's all CGI."
Yeah. That was the dude that made the Lord of the Rings. He made our generation's King Kong.
Yeah,
Peter Jackson.
Peter Jackson.
Oh.
Yeah. Had Jack Black in it, which is weird. And of course it had to be 3 hours long, right?
Yeah.
You can't be a serious movie unless there's 9 sequels and each one of them's 4 fucking hours.
Although I have to give it to that, like, there is something said for like brevity, but like, if I'm gonna pay as much money as I'm paying in a theater, I better be fucking entertained for a while.
That's true, and it kind of flies in the face of the attention span thing that I was just saying.
It's true.
It's kind of a strange thing.
But there are a lot of girls that sleep through movies.
Yeah, or just look at their phones the whole time.
I'm just saying, if all my selfies got likes.
Doesn't that suck when you, like, if you're, like, hanging out with somebody, like your significant other or a friend or whatever, and you're trying to watch something that you've seen before and they haven't seen it? So you're all excited, and they're, like, not even paying attention, and they're like, oh, you just talked through that part. I got to rewind it. And they're just annoyed because they're just trying to get through it. They're just humoring you. It sucks.
That happens a lot.
It's like if you didn't see it with someone originally, you can't share the thing.
It's difficult.
Yeah.
But yeah, the state of art is in kind of a... I mean, it definitely shows what we find is important, and we don't find originality or new ideas or shit that challenges us, you know, either as viewers or as a society. I mean, like, okay, so we were watching recently, the missus and I were watching Eyes Wide Shut. And I'm totally going to give away this idea. Nobody's going to do it because it's my fucking idea, and I said it first. But, you know, there's the whole orgy scene in Eyes Wide Shut. You ever seen it? It's in a mansion.
No, but I'm familiar with the fact that there's an orgy involved.
Yeah, it's in a mansion, and you're just, like, floating through, like, almost like a ghost or whatever, as, like, all these people are ramming each other in masks, and people are just watching, sitting around, also having sex, doing all kinds of sexual things. And I wanted to do that in a hip-hop video, same setup and everything, but, like, with morbidly obese people in the orgy. I mean,
that'd be cool, man.
I think it would be
really
great.
Like that.
That sounds good to me.
That'd be fun.
But I'm into that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Or like hairy people, you know, just like something.
Yeah.
Like, why does everybody have to be beautiful? You know,
nice hairy ass crack.
Here's the thing.
Oh yeah.
I was watching. I don't know if you know who Chanel West Coast is. She was like on Rob.
Her name is retarded.
Rob Deerdeck's Fantasy Factory, and she was like the receptionist.
I have no idea what anything you just said is.
You sound like Sarah Palin. Word salad.
Don't tell me I sound like Sarah Palin.
No, I sound like Sarah Palin. Word salad.
Yeah, you're just saying words.
Chanel West Coast hot dog demographic. Anyway, she's like this white girl that like raps. And but it's all the same thing. I mean, there's no difference between her and like Iggy Azalea and who's that other one who I actually kind of like. But it's just like sex, drugs, and honestly fucking boring. Like, it hasn't been done 1,000 times, you know? Like, it's what they listened to and grew up on, and then they didn't even try and go out of it. It was just the same thing, perpetuating the same shit.
But that's what it's always been. That's rock and roll, baby. Led Zeppelin, it was just Lemon Song. It's just a song about his dick. Like, yeah. I mean, come on, baby, gonna make you well. Miley Cyrus, like, yeah, it doesn't sound as good, but like thematically, it's the same shit as fucking Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin. Maybe not Pink Floyd, but
not so much Pink Floyd, but definitely Zeppelin.
Yeah,
the Zepp.
So we wanted to talk about art this week. That's why we invited our buddy Zane,
an artiste.
For those of you who didn't listen to like episode 6 or whatever the fuck it was,
I think it was actually like 14 or 13 or something.
Okay.
Yeah. It was in the teens.
It was a long time ago, and if you did listen, you probably forgot.
Has been a while.
Zane and I went to the art school together. We got our what do we have? BFAs.
Schooled in art.
Bachelor of Fine Arts.
Yeah, our bachelors of fine arts.
Yeah,
we're fine artsy bachelors.
Fine.
Yeah, so
we're not just artsy. We're fine.
So we're like
Fine.
Technically, we're like officially licensed to talk about art, right?
I think so.
I guess you'd have to be.
I think if you do art, you're technically licensed to talk about it.
Right.
Know?
Maybe not the historical stuff. But.
Yeah. As long as you don't even, I don't know. You just have to continue to have an interest in it, you know? So like reading about other art, you don't have to have a degree.
See, so I have a degree and I don't read about art. Like, I can't remember any of the shit I learned in art history. Like I was saying, I remember there was a guy that took pictures of magazine covers. I don't remember his name. I don't remember exactly when it was. I want to say early 90s. But what I wanted to talk about, and that goes hand in hand with it, is like the art world versus art.
And can we bring up a name real quick for people to look at when they're fucking listening to this shit? Damien Hurst. The fall of Damien Hurst, that piece of shit. He's the guy who did
Rob doesn't like Damien Hurst.
He did the cut up shark, you know, and the formaldehyde and
it's
the
pretty
half,
cool.
And the half
That
cow.
stuff was kind of cool, I have to
like
say.
that.
But then he did the diamond encrusted skull.
I liked that.
Shit.
As an art object, I liked the diamond encrusted skull. The fact that it's worth whatever it was worth, $90 million or whatever the fuck. Yeah.
I don't know. He's overblown.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But the skull is still pretty cool. I'd put that on my mantle. You know what I'm saying? That's really the true measure of art. Would I put it in my house and look at it every day? Yeah, I'd take a diamond encrusted skull. That's pretty sweet.
For the love of God is what it's called.
Yeah, I guess you have a point there. I don't like his work because of most of the time the concept behind it.
Well,
it's really shallow to me.
Yeah.
right. His whole thing is just art as business.
Yeah.
So he's like one of those like pickup artists, right? Like he's just throwing as many darts as he can. Eventually he's gonna hit some bullseyes.
Eventually he's gonna get laid.
Yeah, like but that's kind of the art of it, is manipulating the art world into thinking your shit's worth $90 million or whatever.
But see, that's what seems false about him, is he's like, I'm going to create this, and then I'm going to create the reason for it to exist. You know, like, I'm going to take a poo, and then I'm going to tell you why it's important.
Right, but it's a
Yeah.
conscious falsity, so that makes it an intentional art move, right?
But what's the
That's a
difference?
catch. If art was football, right? He caught the ball and then he made an intentional art move. Like you make a football move, right?
Yeah.
And then it's a catch. Right?
Art move.
A football move.
He made an art move.
That catchphrase is so fucking. I have no idea what to say, but they didn't used to say that back in the day. And then he has to have made a football move.
Right. If you called it a football move on day one of the rule book of football, no one would know what that was yet. There had to be 100 years of football prior to calling something a football move, because it's already ingrained in your mind what a football move is. And that's how Damien Hurst plays the art industry, right?
But see, he plays it to me in the same way that Trump does. Like, everybody knows, or everybody should know, except for the people who are supporting him, that he's a fucking liar. That he's just saying what they want to hear, and he has no intention of actually following through with any of this shit.
I feel like if Barbara Walters asked him that on national television, he'd just say, "Oh yeah, no, yeah, I'm just lying."
Yeah, well, no, I mean,
But vote for me anyway, because fuck you.
Yeah.
So I kind of respect that. As far as pro wrestling goes, right? He's an interesting character. I wish him the best. You know what I'm saying?
Well, pro wrestling. If you're talking pro wrestling.
I wish him aneurysms and strokes.
Yeah. I'm more on Rob's side.
Yeah. Well,
Actually,
I wish his genitals to shrivel up and go back in him and then cause gangrene. So they have to remove the top half of him.
I'm just not that into pretending that a president is a real thing in 2016. So, whatever. But
yeah, well,
He's the executive.
that's another thing, man. I mean, I feel like, a lot of the shit's been manipulated to where art doesn't matter anymore. And that's an intentional move by
like the
forces.
Illuminati.
Not the Illuminati. I don't know if I really
Ascribe.
think. I don't know if I really ascribe to that anymore. Like I've done a lot of research and gone down into rabbit holes, and I think honestly, my take on that is like set up by the Koch brothers so that people will get lost in fucking Illuminati land and not know who's really fucking running the show.
Well, and that's like
And it's all ridiculous information. It's like fucking alien shit and all this. Like,
dude, those
possible,
aliens, they
but-
inseminated monkeys. Okay.
yeah, that's what they say. That's what some of the fucking things say. There's reptile people and all this.
We're
stuff.
gonna have Josh on again. He's gonna explain all this shit. If you haven't, listeners out there, After this
last
one's
week?
over,
Yeah.
go back to last week. I believe it's episode 45 with the Squatch Watch 2016. Yeah, we're going to have Josh back on to explain the powers that
All
be
that
to
stuff.
us a little more. But yeah.
But it had, going back to like Chanel West Coast, like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
reason it bothers me so much is because it is about that. It's about a very hollow, consumeristic, not even decadence, but just trying to distract people from like real shit. And then so they're just sitting there going like, well, my fucking kicks are like, worth way more than yours, so you're a piece of shit. And like somebody's sitting there laughing, all the way to the bank.
I don't know how much of that is a sinister plot to discredit the true voice of the people through art, though. I think it's more that it's just easier to sell bullshit because
I don't know,
it's
man.
predictable.
I think people want to be educated, man. That's my personal philosophy.
Well, children definitely like learning shit. Like they'll pick up a language like, like that.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that. I hang out with a little kid.
I hang out with a 3-year-old.
somewhat, Yeah.
Well, and then think about like, even though like Facebook is a bunch of shit, there's good things that have happened through the social media and the internet with like uprisings.
Yeah,
and
Arab Spring and shit. That was all Facebook and Twitter.
Those guys are awesome. Just kidding.
Can we do
You're
that?
gonna get Donald Trump to come down here right now and kick some fucking ass.
That'd be awesome.
Hope so.
Donald, if you're listening, have your people email me,
Have your hair.
lokisap@gmail.com.
Have your hair. Contact our people.
Is that how he's so successful? He just leaves his toupee by his computer while he sleeps and it types out emails and shit for him?
You know, my uncle calls him his butthole mouth.
All right.
Why
I like
not?
that name pretty good.
Yeah.
Like
Seems
he's always like,
appropriate.
Ooh,
Oh, yeah, he's making the...
ooh.
Yeah. That motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we played Make It Red, right?
It's Bernie Sanders.
I don't know. I don't know what this interlude is.
Bernie
I
Sanders
keep
says-
drinking this IPA and then I just hit record
Just
and I
makes
talk.
everything better. So this
rough.
is Zane's second favorite song. Our
well,
guest.
I didn't. Well, yeah, whatever.
All right.
Let's just do it. Make it red.
Fuck it.
Fuck
Make
it.
it red.
By Bat
Bat
Wings
wings
for
for
lab
lab rats. All up in that ass. Suck a dick. Fuck you, maggots.
Every day is the name of the struggle. Here and gone, we percolate bubbles. Stumbled out of the gate and met fate head on. A collision with God straightened me off the ground. Now grind up my pigment, paint me infinite as the stars. Behind red and white bars, as blue as my heart can get stamped and locked down. Eyes that look down, mouths whisper gossip. Lockup looks just like the dream should. The wood where I would carve your heart is the paper as blank as my yard. Blank is my yard. Blank is my yard. Blank is my yard. That's blank. That's the wood. You don't recognize some presence true. Some presence true. If we don't figure out this shit, then we're all dead. Not so way what's good. So way what's good. So make it red. 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 Tried and tried, shackles are timeless. Undressed, life is a hailstorm. Unborn, unlived, unloved. Demon is calling the angels. Bluff on my shoulder. War on, going forever better. Dig a hole, hide there. Awake against no wind. We should be soaring. So high, y'all rise, scan the ground for crumbs. Stumbles, I walk now, beat down. Drug out, existence exhausted. We had it, we lost it. 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 We have it. The world, you're looking at your back, oh, you don't recognize. So let's go. So let's go. No, if we don't figure out this shit, then you and I, not so bad. Let's go. So let's go. So make it red. Gonna make it red. Gonna make it red. Make it red. Yeah, make it red. Gonna make it red. Gonna make it red. Gonna make it red. Make it red. Taking another rip, tonight's trip just jumped off. No soft pillows to land on, we stand on the edge. Nothing is better than right here, right now. Whatever, sever the past. Open up, throw it back. Train off the track, no time to react. No time to relax, till we're flat on our backs. Staring at the sunrise, swollen red eyes. I must have died 1,000 times last night. And this death rehearsal, this dirt will wash away. Earth will wash away. Wash away. Wash away. Wash away. You're looking at your back, oh, you don't recognize. So let's go. So let's go. No, if we don't figure out this shit, then you and I, we're not so bad. Let's go. So let's go. So make it red. Gonna make it red. Gonna make it red. Make it red. Yeah, make it red. Gonna make it red. Gonna make it red. Make it red. Yeah, make it red. Gonna make it red. Gonna make us red. Make us red. Oh, make it red. Gonna make it red. Gonna make it red. Make it red. Oh, make it red.
And it's working. We're talking about him right now.
Yeah.
Never once have we mentioned that piece of shit, and all of a sudden he's like coming up. But
So, yeah, which I guess we're violating, but my stance on a presidential candidate is the same as a mass murderer. You don't say their name publicly and give them attention. That's what they want.
Yeah.
But I love mass murderers. I love I mean, yeah. Why wouldn't I wear Chairman Mao on my shirt?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I gotta,
There was like a moment of like, let that one sink in.
yeah.
Banksy should do a piece with Chairman Mao and Ronald Reagan making out.
Yeah.
I heard that Banksy is Ronald Reagan. That,
He got his Alzheimer's reversed.
well, he was getting all senile, right? So he got like the super drugs from DARPA that they were developing for the military and had him inject him, and they faked his death. And he had this whole like reverse of his entire everything he was about, and he became a graffiti artist. So, and he knew he couldn't come out as Ronald Reagan, the graffiti artist who faked his death and shit. So he made up this alter ego, Banksy, and that's
So anyway,
what happened.
if you could have the perfect art world, the world in Zane's art idea, what would it be?
how would it work?
Yeah, how would it work? What would you do? What would your part in it be? If you could just create art, what would it do to people? What would you create? It's kind of a big question. Sorry.
Yeah, that is a big question. I don't know. I just, as far as what I want to create is just thinking in some sort of positivity.
Questioning,
it can be
questioning.
reduced down to that, you know. That's really like at the core of why I make art, is like to introduce some type of concept or history, or to show how things are really interrelated when they might seem that they're not.
So that people have those experiences without psychedelics.
Yeah, or I mean, with them, or whatever they choose to do, you know?
Yeah.
I just like, you know, I feel like a lot of people get really good feelings from my work, and that's what brings me joy, and that's what I try to, you know, reinforce in my work, which is really counter to where the art world is, where a lot of it's about basically irony and apathy, and so that's kind of, I think, why maybe my work isn't
commercially as viable, or why, you know, it's been a while since I've developed new work.
Sorry.
But like, you know, like the whole graduate school thing is a whole other level of fucking being like critiqued on just this fucking level that nobody in society ever will understand unless you're an art student.
Right.
And
it becomes blinders, tunnel vision.
Yeah,
where
totally.
The art world is not part of the real world. So it's just this abstract thing where art is a thing that's divorced from reality when it shouldn't be such. And art should reinforce the reality that we're in. You know what I'm saying? That's
why I don't know. That's why I think there's definitely something to that happening. There's like a reason. And I don't know. Like universities, I think, are just an extension of the government in a lot of ways. They're originally places of study, but they've been infiltrated by corporations and the government.
Yeah.
Well, on a financial level, and so they're basically an extension of that in some fashion.
College is basically, it's a way to create debt.
Well, at this point, yeah, it is. It's a whole money market.
But it's also a factory for following orders.
Yeah, and I think you know, that's another reason why art's so important, because that's, I don't know, maybe philosophy and what other subject might they teach things like free thinking, you know?
Yeah, that's about it. Philosophy and art.
But yeah, all the arts definitely. I mean, even though mathematics has like stringent rules, there's still the ability when you understand the language to think outside about it in different ways.
Math. So, all right, if you had math, art, and business, right? Math is pure reality, right?
Well, it's trying to create order out of chaos. Yeah.
Right, but it's 1 is equal to 1. Mm-hmm. But then you got art, and 1 is equal to purple or red or however
you're
feeling that day.
1 is equal to me.
1 is equal to the struggle, brother.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said that like Hulk Hogan. But.
Well, no, that's like 2 of the, you know, most common artists is like...
But then you got...
what you just did, and then afterwards, it's like the struggle or the fucking, I just do it because it makes me happy.
But it's right, so you got... Art is open for interpretation. 1 equals whatever. And then you got business, which is 2 + 2 = 5. And if you disagree, we'll come after you. Fucking hostile takeover.
We made the rules and they're arbitrary.
Right.
That is the economic system that we live under. I mean, you know, people are always like, oh, well, they're lucky they have those shitty slave wage jobs in those third worlds because, you know, before that they were fucking pastoral farmers, and then you came along and were like, oh, we bought up all the land. Sorry, get the fuck off of here. We're going to go make a factory. You can go work your ass off in that shit.
It reminds me of that Louis C.K. bit where God is like, I left food everywhere. It just grows. What are you doing? Like, yeah, true. But it doesn't have like the bacon and it's not crunchy like I like it. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how in a universe with like sex and fruit you can have war.
Right. That's Rob's philosophy.
That's pretty much it.
That's
the basis.
Rob's gonna start the sex and fruit party.
You should, man. I think
I'll vote for you.
Yeah.
What do you promise us? Sex and fruit. We're gonna have sex and fruit, and if you don't like sex as much, we'll have fruit and sex. Those are our two options.
Sex is not required, nor is fruit.
Nope.
However, they are free to partake.
You can have them all. They will be abundant.
They grow on trees, and they grow in our pants.
And they walk on legs.
What else do you need besides sex and fruit?
And if they don't grow in our pants, we've invented Viagra. It's a great time to be alive.
I just have you ever seen like a Congolese fruit bat? I mean, they just like fly around and they eat awesome fruit. What the fuck? That is the coolest mammal existence ever. I get to fly and eat fruit all day.
Do bats ever like bone while they hang upside down?
I don't know. I don't know how they.
Seems awesome.
Yeah,
Well,
you have
That's
to
what I'd
study.
do if I was a bat.
You should go hang out with them. We can.
hang out literally.
Yeah.
Are you insinuating that I should start a bestiality phase of my life with
No,
bats?
you can just put it on the internet. You know.
I don't even know how that would work. Bats are tiny. I couldn't fuck a bat without killing it. I could maybe like lube a bat up and put it in my ass, but that would probably kill it too.
Yeah, dude. Just just jack off at the bats, and then fucking.
That seems like abuse. That feels dirty. I feel like I'm like flashing kids in a park if I'm just going into caves and jacking off at bats.
First of all, I was urinating near the playground. I wasn't trying to show the kids anything. Now I'm on some list. What the fuck?
Yeah, it feels a little greasy to just jack off in front of bats. Why? How did I start talking about jacking off in front of bats?
You could also maybe like use binoculars too, like from afar.
Yeah, I tried jacking off on binoculars, but it wasn't as cool as jacking off on bats.
How come there's no such thing as a unocular? Oh, it's a telescope. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Is this art? Is what we're doing right now art?
Oh, it's so arty.
Is it art
think
because we're recording it? If we were just sitting around talking, first of all, we wouldn't be talking the same way. It would be a totally different conversation.
I don't know. We had a pretty good conversation before this.
Yeah. Oh, we should have recorded
it's pretty
that.
funny.
Fuck.
I forget what it was, but it was great. That's really like music. It's ephemeral. Just it exists in the moment, and then it's fucking gone. And sorry you weren't there, assholes. You should have come and hang out with us instead of been dicks being far away.
Yeah.
If you'd like to come hang out, email me, LokiSapfoot@gmail.com.
Come be on the show.
A dick pic or a twat shot is going to get you far. So include an attachment, if you will.
He knows people.
I know myself.
Just remember, after 180 days, the FBI can look at your shit anytime they want because it's considered abandoned email if it's still in your email account.
Really?
Yeah, that's a law from the 1980s.
Jesus.
And nobody's updated it. And so, like,
What
Google doesn't like turning over that shit, but they don't really have a choice.
So you
in
have
that.
to delete your email,
Yep.
or it
You have
becomes
to-
property of the state?
They don't. It's not property, but they can look at it and record it.
Well, then it might as well be property. It's an
Yeah.
email.
Oh, man. Those farts sound crazy. That is the weirdest sounding flatulence I've heard this week. Last week was a different story. I don't know. The state of art is depressing at best.
Yeah. It's one of those things, though.
People still do it. They'll always still do it, though.
And it's like the old argument of like, is the internet ruining music or making it better? It's the same with art, right?
Yeah.
There's so many choices now. You go to like Etsy, all the awesome shit that people can make and sell. It's just like saturated, which means none of us can really be successful unless we're willing to like Damien Hurst the world.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those things. Like,
That was a nice way of saying whore.
right. Unless we're willing to spread our cheeks and take the devil's dick deep within us. I'm willing to take like the tip of the devil's dick.
I don't know though. Okay, so we've gotten into vinyl in this house, like not in a big way, but in a fun way.
Oh, you're so cool.
I know.
You and your vinyl.
We're like on the tip, but
Oh man, you should hear that shit on. You should hear this podcast.
You should
on
hear this
vinyl.
podcast.
We should
on
release
vinyl,
podcasts on vinyl. That would make us so cool. That'd be like the ultimate.
No. We'll
Street
release it
cred.
on that piano tape, that piano roll.
I don't even. How would that even work?
Just like
Dude,
notes
that would
going
be a
back and
great
forth.
art project to like digitally transcribe a podcast onto that.
Onto piano roll.
Yeah, if you could just like figure out whatever like computer
Tone
program
or
that
whatever.
translates the tones right to notes, that's a fucking awesome art project.
Bow, 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 bow.
Yeah, right. No, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, dude, you're looking at being in the Guggenheim next
The
year.
future is the past.
Right.
But anyway, the vinyl thing though is interesting because we go to like, you know, stores that have like tons of vinyl.
Yeah.
I'm surprised at how much shit there is that I don't know. Like how, and honestly, I don't think much of it is very good. Like if you go to a thrift store and you look at their vinyl section, it's like, oh, I didn't know this. You know, I can't even like imagine what it, like Caribbean, like white Scandinavian dudes doing Caribbean music in a, you know, Eastern European fashion or something.
It's
and
like
you're
some Beastie Boys shit
it's,
right
it's
there.
just like, what the fuck is this? What, like, what would it sound like? I don't, but you know, like, so I guess the thing is like, to me, it's always been like, art has always been like 80% shit and 20% stuff I'd actually enjoy. If that,
Yeah.
I mean, and so art, like the internet, all the internet's done has made that easier for me to sit there and go like, oh, 80% of it is shit. It's a click away.
So there's this weird thing that happens in our culture right now where people make shit that's bad on purpose.
So
But
bad,
that's
it's
the
good.
art of it. Like it's supposed to be campy. I guess it's like the hipster thing, right? Like silly trucker hats and
well,
bad haircuts.
you know,
it's back to that irony.
Yeah,
thing.
it's irony.
Irony,
The age
I
of,
guess
the
so,
age of
right.
irony. Like there was the Bronze Age, the Iron Age, and now the Age of Irony.
But if that tickles everybody's art bone, you know, if that stimulates everybody visually and culturally, then why is it bad?
I don't know why is
Well, does it, though?
Why
I
is
mean,
child
is
rape
that-
bad?
Is that like that's
There's
like
a lot of that going around too.
what I'm thinking is does it really like stimulate, or is that just all people are used to at this
Right.
point?
They're not they don't
Because-
know enough to open up to something they'd like more.
Like, not to be all conspiracy theory, but just going back to some government shit. Like, it's been published that the CIA was involved in promoting the abstract expressionism movement as a thing
What?
of
Really?
being something removed from the Axis powers of Nazi Germany and fucking
okay.
Japan, right? So if they were involved in something like that, and that's like one of that New York school like defined the next fucking 20, 30 years of art. Jackson Pollock and, you know, a lot of the art, I like some of the, you know, those artists. And I can't remember Mark Rothko's, you know, the one I really like. But just that there was some kind of involvement in that. And that's been published like after the fact. All this stuff comes out like 40, 50 years later.
Well, there's usually,
well, it's okay. We can say it. We can let them know.
yeah,
now.
there's usually like a 50-year.
Yeah.
You know, we can't talk about it, and then now we can talk about it after 50 years. Half
So,
a
like,
century.
with corporations and then like the government involved in schools, like that's, I think, like educated artists have made what the art world is for that long.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like minimalism and fucking post-minimalism, and
So
then
you're saying
all
that
that stuff was orchestrated through the university.
the powers that be have a vested interest in making art
Not challenge. It's not questioning.
appealing, but not intellectually challenging.
Not intellectually challenging, not anything challenging. I mean,
Right.
it's been on this whole path of being reduced, and then like you look at pop music and it's down to like, oh man, I can't,
Taylor Swift.
like Taylor Swift or you know,
Kesha.
there was this fucking song on the radio that was like some kind of fucking on the hip hop station that was like birthday sex, and it's like, so that's what
I've
it's
heard
down
that
to.
song.
We're not gonna fucking, you know, talk about, you know,
Okay, but on the other hand, is birthday sex not awesome?
it is awesome.
Is that
It
not something
Sure.
worth writing a song about? I think it is.
But
I would
I mean,
contend.
Only if there's fists involved.
It's just, I mean, I'm just using it as an example of reduction down to just like a core, like
Right.
that. Even birthday sex, those two words are something that challenges somebody more than a fucking
It depends
a
on if
pyramid
you're
that's white or
if
like
you're
a
an
white
8-year-old
canvas.
child bride or not. That's
I'm
what it depends on. So, but God forbid we ever bring that up because nobody wants to hear. Don't bring me down, dude. Don't do that to me.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about 8-year-old brides.
Don't talk.
Don't tell me about the bad shit in the world, man. I'm in fucking Vegas. I'm listening to some and I'm thinking I'm gonna get herpes by the end of this trip.
You know what I'd be interested in checking out is like the alternative media scene in Las Vegas, right? How are they competing with their surroundings with any form of reality at all?
They just do it in the dirty, like, okay, so I might have some answers to this question because I've seen like documentaries on like hardcore, punk rock, hardcore punk scene in Vegas, and it, obviously off strip, like in these dirty little shitty clubs, and people come out to that because anybody who lives in Vegas is like, we avoid the strip. We don't want to hang out there.
Like Vegas is pretty much the strip, and then Rio Rancho all around it, right? Basically,
yeah, that's how it seems.
Yeah, it seems like that.
Yeah,
to me. But the thing, so my philosophy is like whether or not there are powers that be, and I'm sure corporations love the fact that art isn't dangerous or serious or whatever anymore in the mainstream. But
there's all kinds of that kind of art, but it's not popular. It's not going to the masses.
It's not, and they won't let it on their channels. They have channels of being able, there's 6 companies that run all the fucking media, and they don't need it on there and don't want it. And the thing of it to me though is it's very like representative of your culture. So when people are like, it's just mindless fun, well, it manifests in different ways after a while. You get Sarah Palin's, and you get George W. Bush's, and you get that dipshit with the red rug on his fucking scalp.
Like, you mean butthole mouth?
Yeah, butthole mouth. Yeah, you get Captain Butthole Mouth. And that's how, like, when you stop taking things that should be somewhat at least treated with reverence seriously, it totally manifests in other parts of your culture and society without you even trying, without you even knowing. Like now the presidency isn't like something like in Roosevelt's day where it's like this is like the best and brightest and of us being elected. It's now a fucking reality show, and it's $1 billion reality show at this point.
Right. All right, you motherfuckers.
Welcome to the podcast of
hatred.
It's like being at a butthole mouth rally.
Yeah. It's all about hate. Let's make America hate again, shall we?
Yay.
This is a song. This is like this must be our least favorite song we ever made.
Personally,
because
I don't know.
I don't remember ever thinking like I don't like that song, but we never played it live.
Right.
We never. I don't know. It's just for whatever reason, and I don't think we've ever played it on the podcast. I never even think about this song, so we're gonna play it.
It's like pig anus. It's filler.
Right. This song is it's like the hot dog. This is the pig anus of the hot dog that is the Punkopadelic album.
The pig anus holds it all together, though. You gotta, gotta give it credit.
That it falls apart.
You gotta give the pig anus credit for sure. All right, this song is called "Put It Down" by Batwings for Lab Rats.
Yeah.
Suck a dick.
Reaching back, stack chips, react faster. You're bastard after the fact, master the knack that's behind the line. Deaf, dumb, and alive. Fire what you want, go over a stone. Flow, show, no slow, goes awaken and glow. Oh no, stuck on the couch, about to flip the fork out. Shell. Yeah, pick it up, put it down. I pick it up, put it down. I pick it up, put it, I put it, I put it, I put it, I put it, put it down. I pick it up, put it down. I pick it up, put it down. I pick it up, put it, I put it, I put it, I put it, I put it down. individual me. It's a journey, come on, who's with me? Gotta get gone on a brand new train. Tame the pain, change lane, bring some magic. Tragic, frantic, sad and fat and masses. Fat asses laughing at plastic and saccharine where fashion blots out style, sunshine. If you can see fine, all time is free time. Pick it up, put it down. I pick it up, put it down. I pick it up, put it, I put it, I put it, I put it, I put it, put it down. I pick it up, put it down. I pick it up, put it down. I pick it up, put it, I put it, I put it, I put it, I put it, put it down. Subliminal ritual, mind numb, dumb, stupefied. Pride distilled, grill spilled, and swept aside. Dyed, watered out, bleached man again. Skin turned yellow when the sun watered out again. Cleanliness, Jesus preferred, stirred. Blood of shaking, forsakes the sacred lie. Try to cling the lies till yes, I realize signs and otherwise is right. Yeah, pick it up, put it down. I pick it up, put it down. I pick it up, put it, I put it, I put it, I put it, I put it, put it down. I pick it up, put it down. I pick it up, put it down. I pick it up, put it, I put it, I put it, I put it, I put it, put it down. Put it down. Put it down. Put it, put it, put it, put it, put it down. Put it down. Put it down. Put it, put it, put it, put it, put it, put it down.
You know who I reconnected with recently? That dude, George Evans.
Oh yeah,
from our same painting era, and
that dude was dedicated to the craft for sure.
His work's really good, good now.
He's the opposite of me. Like I had all these ideas and just no dedication.
I know. I have a lot of ideas too. Yeah. And less like I know what you mean, man, for sure.
And he showed up every day and just turned shit out. And just I saw even in the whatever semester or two that we were in class with him, just like even in that span, he got technically way better.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's what I'm missing in life, any sort of dedication. But sorry.
Yeah, so I've been talking with him about art, and he graduated like, I don't know, like, did you graduate a semester after me, or at the same time?
I think it was at the same time. We were at the ceremony together.
Okay.
It was like December 2010.
Yeah. So he graduated maybe a year after us then. And so remember they brought in Dave Hickey and Libby Lumpkin?
Yeah.
I guess Libby Lumpkin at one point told him, like, earnestness doesn't sell.
Yeah, well, she's kind of a dumb bitch.
Well, I mean, for sure. Yeah, like that's who runs the art world, right?
I don't want to slander,
but I'm just saying, like, back to that irony is in, and anything that's sincere or serious is out, unless you're a street artist like Banksy or Shepard Fairey does some good. I think he's like
he
also super
sells
commercial.
A lot of t-shirts.
He sells a lot of t-shirts. He's super commercial, but at the same time, he does so much stuff for different activist things around for free, and still has a connection with the punk rock community.
I have a Shepard Fairey print in my office at work.
And that's the question: Can you actually be pure artist in a society that's run, by capitalism?
Yeah,
like where money is the new god. Like, can art ever find its like true integrity and all that shit? Like, because that question comes up with music all the time. Like Kayla and I, like, we go to this festival every year, and it's always like talking about how to like monetize your music, basically. And you're sitting there and you're like, man, do I really want like some shitty, car company or whatever, like paying me like thousands of dollars for something that I created that I don't agree with any of their policies or anything that they stand for, you know?
Right.
But on the other hand, I gotta fucking eat.
Right. Like, did the Dropkick Murphys give a shit about the Boston Patriots or the New England Patriots? Probably not, right?
Yeah.
Probably not.
No.
I don't know.
But you know what they don't have to do is they don't have to work shitty jobs.
Well, but I feel like
true.
now that we've got the internet, we have the advantage of if we give a shit, we can find the real art. Because you can't really... Maybe you can kill art, but the argument is you can't kill art because you can make art under any circumstance, right? So Damien Hurst's art is art. It's just in the context of the bullshit art world of what's important. But in that context, that shit's legit and kind of punk rock in a way.
It kind of makes...
He's Donald Trump in him. He's like...
But it makes me wonder, though, like... So then taking it from, like, that extreme to the other extreme, were there any comedians during the Holocaust? Like, you know, in the concentration camps?
I'm sure there were.
Was there, like, one, you know...
Oh, definitely.
I'm sure there were.
like, concentration camp guy who made everybody else laugh? Could you even laugh? Was there laughter then?
Oh, I bet you that somebody had the best joke about the rock soup they were eating. That they were starving, pretending they were eating. You know what I'm saying? Like... I'm sure there was. Like,
Yeah.
that's when it's ripe. That's when comedy's the ripest, right? You can take the biggest risks because fuck it, we're all gonna get gas tomorrow. Like,
Probably, yeah.
right?
I don't know.
Or they're gonna give us showers. We're all so excited.
Why is it snowing?
Showers and morning rape.
Ooh, hey.
Is that the new Marilyn Manson album? Cake and sodomy, showers and morning rape.
Golden showers and rape in the morning.
And really, I mean, and that's the thing. Like, okay, so we've gotten to so that I think that's where we're at right now. Is we're like stuck in this. We don't know where to take the conversation because to me, art's like a conversation. We're talking about art history. Like, art is always like this conversation where you go, like, you know, whenever we go to art museums like LACMA, we go to a lot of art museums. Me and Kayla when we go out of town because like LA just has tons of art. And I'm always having to say, well, like, okay, so I know this looks like a bunch of lines or this looks like a bunch of bullshit or whatever. Like, but, you know, this is past, like, realism and this is past, like, surrealism and this is past, like, expressionism and impressionism. Like, these are the first guys to do this kind of thing
within
in
the
art world.
context of the establishment. That shit's punk rock as fuck. But if you don't know that world, it's just some lines.
Yeah, no, it's like My Kid Could Do That. There's a movie called that, I think, like My Kid Could Do That, and it's about the art world like that. But in the overall like grand conversation of things, you know, we've taken it to very extreme places. There's a movie on Hulu called Sweet Movie, and it takes like a bunch of like a collective of performance artists and makes like this weird Eastern European narrative about fascism and all these other things. But there's this one part where they're like having food and eating food and they just start getting naked and shitting on the plates and rubbing it on themselves and it doesn't get much more. I mean, short of like actually killing people on camera or any, you know, or animals and eating their insides, you know, I don't know how you get like more extreme. And what are you trying to say?
Oh, they're actually shitting?
Yeah, they're actually taking a crap on
So
plates and stuff on a it's an amazing art film.
Matthew Barney shit.
It is so fun. It is so cool. But like on the other hand, like you can't take, you know, this is the 70s when arguably American movies, and this was not an American movie, but when American movies were at their most like raw and you know, like you had Deliverance and you had
Texas Chainsaw,
but also the one about war that Stanley Kubrick did, Full Metal Jacket. You know, there were just
Apocalypse Now.
Apocalypse
70s,
Now,
or was
yeah.
that,
No, that was
70s.
Yeah, no, I mean, just you could actually, you know, the MPAA wasn't the fucking censorship group that it is now. You're like, there's a penis. Oh fuck, no, children can't see a penis.
Well, and that's like what Zane was saying. It was on the way. Art was on the way to being completely co-opted by the corporate structure of muting everything to make money, right?
Right.
That's like you go see Rage Against the Machine and whatever their recent tour was. They were playing at the corporate Butthole Pavilion, whatever it's called this week.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Really?
Yeah, well, it was a
Where are they
whatever.
playing?
It was a major. I'm saying like you,
Oh,
you
not
went out to
recently,
see him at the Staples Center,
Yeah.
or you went to the Journal Pavilion, whatever it was called that
Yeah.
month. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mesa del Sol.
it's like
Yeah, whatever.
the art still exists within the structure, but it has to work within those parameters.
The confines.
Like
To get to the masses, yeah.
you have to be able to sell it. Rage Against the Machine had a song on the Godzilla soundtrack called "The Front Line Is Everywhere." I don't know if that was the name of the song. but
That's
that
one of
was
my
the-
favorite songs by them.
There's a lyric in the song, "Godzilla, pure motherfucking filler." Like they're calling out the fact that the soundtrack that they're on is retarded bullshit in the lyrics, and they still sold it to be on that soundtrack.
Well, and that's what I'm
fucking
saying.
badass.
Like, when you can break through all that stuff that we're talking about, the sincerity is sellable.
Right.
I just think that it's deterred to an extent so much that it's hard. And with the, I think another huge thing is the saturation. We just have so many people and so many artists.
Right.
So, like, you can't have, like, a Rage Against the Machine again.
See, I'm done with irony. Like I've been done with it for a
Yeah,
while. Like
same
it's
here.
all
I
it's
mean,
all
that's-
about been sincerity and
I'm fine with both. If it's done well.
I mean, if
Hey, I'll
irony
drive
has
by-
its place, and that's the thing. Irony does have its place, but at the same time, when it's shoved down your throat,
Right.
and that's what the art world's all about, and
It's like-
other things that are sincere are discounted as being like, you know, like some kind of
Old-timey.
fantasy or some kind of like
just an old-fashioned
idealistic
word.
look at stuff. People just kind of tout it. It's like, oh, that's not, you know, that's not real. It's, you know, like when people talk about having, you know, spiritual experiences, whether with psychedelics or not, that kind of community is like, oh, that's not real. You know, that's the same kind of
Fucking
attitude.
hippies.
That's me.
Fucking
That's me.
hippies.
I'm the person who says, yeah, go do that. That I think that stuff is real and we should talk about it.
Israel?
Israel.
Is real.
Zionism. No, but like, yeah, I mean, like wine, and that's the thing is, it's like not about any kind of self-discovery or discovery about the universe as it is. Like, I think at the end of the day, we all experience life in a very like unique way to each of us, but nobody's gonna sit there and say that, y'all, what a pretentious dickhead, you know, to say such a thing. But it's pretty true. I mean, have you ever argued with somebody on the opposite? I argued with a Captain Butthole Mouth supporter recently, and they are so fucking like gone,
Dude.
and it's so disconnected from reality. Like their focus is like, you know, well, Muslims are going to come here and like butt rape bombs into our asses. Like that's going to happen. And they believe it. There's no like, you know, idea of reality, you know, coming, you know, like I said, well, you know, right-wing terrorists are at the top of the FBI watch list in this country. Like, you know, and toddlers shot more people last year than Muslim
Right.
terrorists
Let's
did.
let's tally up the scoreboard. White terrorists versus Muslim terrorists.
Well, and that's the thing though, like even like that reminds me, you know, my own dad is a libertarian, right? He's like
Those guys are all
very
right
very
to some
conservative.
degree.
They're all right to some degree.
You know.
You know, the fact that they don't want war in other countries is very, you know, I'm with them on that.
Right.
They tend to be a
Um,
little selfish.
They tend
I'll
to be
say
very
that.
selfish, but you know, just even talking to him about Trump, it was the weirdest conversation I've ever had with my dad.
Yeah.
Because he was like somewhat defending him, and
Yeah.
then talking about the danger of like Muslims, and they have a dark culture and all this shit. And it's like, where is this fucking shit coming from?
But that's what I'm
I didn't
saying.
know you had like a racism against fucking Arab people. I never knew this about you in my entire life. This is weird.
In the same way that Damien Hurst selling a skull to the art world for however $100 million is punk rock as fuck. What Captain Butthole Mouth Donald Trump does within the political paradigm is punk rock as fuck.
It is, but it's not bringing. It's not
Right.
bringing any sort of like we're talking about like I don't know, like what analogy in like old punk rock would I use? Like maybe what's like
Well, I would just say
Well-
it would just be like a metal band called Bloody Anal Rape. Like
yeah versus
okay,
the
we've-
Dead Kennedys or something.
we've
like
heard
that.
that.
You know?
Well, right. So he's within the world of politics. He's punk rock as fuck. But within reality, like actual the world where I'd walk down the street and I'd
interact with people and have a life.
Have to poop and I might need medical attention someday.
Yeah.
Which I don't know why I thought of that right after pooping. Maybe that's some sort of Freudian anal retentive.
Pooping's a big part of life, unfortunately.
But that's what I'm saying is the difference between the art world or the political world and just the regular ass world where reality actually exists. Right?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I guess like what I'm trying to say is like within the context of punk rock, being punk rock in something, they're more like a band like maybe like the Circle Jerks or maybe like Green Day, like that's Donald Trump. Where like there's other punk rock that's like the Dead Kennedys, all kinds of like
or Bad Brains.
Bad Brains.
Right. Well,
you
Hillary
could
Clinton,
just name it off, and those bands expose the truth. And
Hillary Clinton is Sum 41, though, right?
Oh,
yeah.
Basically,
Ouch.
like-
Yeah. True.
Well,
True story.
where's the burn at in all of this?
He's like some band that's singing locally about like veganism.
Oh no!
and
You know what?
feminism.
You know what? I think
And
he's,
he's
like,
great, but who
an,
cares?
He's like an acoustic.
Dude,
he's
he's soaring in those Democratic polls, man. He's
an
almost
he's an
overtaken
acoustic.
Hillary.
He's an acoustic minor threat tribute band. That's what.
acoustic minor. I was just about to mention that.
I don't see that
They're
dude
wholesome
surviving
enough. They're
4
wholesome
years.
enough,
Yeah. 4 years.
He gets elected. I don't see him surviving those 4 years. He already looks like he's 127 years old. He looks like Doc Brown, but like older and crazier.
I have a feeling. I really have a
Doc
feeling
Burn.
he's gonna win.
That's cool.
Because
I
of
think he could.
because he's raised more money than any other presidential candidate with small donations.
through
Remember-
small donations.
Donald Trump has all that huge political backing, but Bernie Sanders has raised more contributions than independently
is-
that
is-
Obama did.
is
You
what I
guys
would
remember
say.
how excited we were about Obama? We pretended that was going to be like a real thing.
Well, it didn't go Bush. Didn't go W way.
Yeah.
It could have. I mean, could you imagine McCain and Palin like that?
Still
would be
killed a lot of kids with bombs from the sky. That's all I'm saying.
No,
I don't know.
and that's like something that
But that's like the biggest.
is not going to change much with Bernie either, because
Right,
he's definitely
right.
like pro-Israel.
Well, and it's not
He's
gonna-
like world politics. He's very conservative.
And it's not going
But
to. It's not going
at
to
least
change in
national-
general.
yeah.
That's our biggest business. I mean, our biggest
Right.
business is fucking people up with our weapons manufacturing. I mean, that's why the whole gun debate is hilarious. Is because like nobody's like they're sitting there being like, we need it for safety, and you're like, no, you need it because somebody told you need it, and because the like it doesn't matter if they sell it to you or they sell it to Mexico cartels or they sell it to South American
Right.
gangs. Like they're making money either way, and fuck you, they don't give a shit about you. So go ahead and buy your gun, feel all safe about it, and then when your kid sticks it in the other kid's face and shoots the other fucking kid's face off, then you can be a statistic and we'll have a conversation if you give a fuck or you don't. Like the only way that shit's gonna change is if like not 90% of everybody knows somebody who's gotten shot by, gotten killed by a gun. At that point, then people will be like, oh, no, we need to change it. And it'll be like, well, they're always like, it gets safer the more you have. We have 300, plus million citizens, 300 plus million guns. We have like a gun, like at what point, and war zones are the safest place, right? I mean, they're like the safest.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's got a gun in a war zone.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
It's the safest place to be.
Yeah, we should send all the shit, I forgot
The
what was the term?
Oregon militia. Oh.
There was a term for them though. It was like jihad, but like was it?
There was Vanilla ISIS.
ISIS.
That was my favorite one. They already it's over. Like for the most part, it's over. They had a shootout with the FBI. One guy got killed. A couple people got injured. One guy got arrested, or several of them got arrested. They're just waiting for the rest of them to get out of there. Like I don't know.
They had a shootout with the FBI.
Yes.
How did I not hear about
Yeah,
that?
how did I not hear
it's
about
all
that?
over the news right now. Just today, and I think maybe yesterday, but mostly today.
Okay.
Oh, that's why I haven't been watching that for a couple days.
But
Alright.
well, I mean, you got tired of it. You were like, they sent the dildos. That was the best. That was the best news story ever.
That was great.
And somebody sent like
and that was motherfucking art.
What about
right there.
yes,
what
that
about
is
dildos?
that
Who
is-
sent dildos?
You didn't hear about this?
people have been sending them dildos.
People
Oh.
have been mailing them dildos just
Instead of
and
snacks,
They
instead of
publicly
food.
asked people to stop, which
Yeah.
is
And then
hilarious. Like,
somebody sent them a 55-gallon tub canister
of lube.
of lube.
Nice.
That's fucking awesome. That is fucking.
That's art.
Nobody tells you about that, but that's like the most beautiful thing in the fucking.
That's glorious.
It's very glorious.
That's fantastic. All right, I guess we gotta wrap this shit up. It's been a while. It's been a minute since I hit record. It's almost an hour deep.
It's been a mome.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Word. Thanks for coming on and rambling.
Yeah, no problem.
Semi-drunkenly about art. Zane White has been our guest.
Yes.
Where can they find your artwork?
It's zanewhitemountain.com. And then that guy George Evans and I, we're going to have a show at the O'Neill's that's on Juan Tabo in March. So that's like the next show I have coming up.
It's O'Neill's on Juan
So
Tabo.
come on the 14th. It's the 14th of March. And they'll provide.
Is that St. Patrick's Day?
No, it's not. It's Pi Day. St. Patrick's is 3/17.
Oh, okay.
Pi Day is
so we're
3/14.
right next to St. Patrick's Day, though.
Yeah.
But come down and all the food will there'll be some food and
check out some art.
You can buy drinks.
Get your art on.
Check out some art.
Expand your mind. Learn some shit.
Word.
Support somebody besides celebrities you don't know. Support somebody you just met because of us.
ZaneWhiteMountain.com. O'Neill's in March 14th.
March 14th, yeah.
Awesome. Anything else you're working on that you'd like to mention?
No, just got stuff in the works, but I've been super busy with trying to work for money.
Right.
Hey, keep
As a
your
teacher,
kids in school.
That's
so
sustenance.
that Zane still has a job.
Yeah.
That's sustenance, though.
Yeah.
All right.
Sustenance.
We'll see you next week. I don't know if we'll have a guest or not. Probably not. We can't make it 3 weeks in a row.
Oh, we're
Maybe
gonna
we
do
can.
it. We're gonna do it.
Yeah, you guys should do it. You should have a guest all the time.
You know any guests? You know anybody, Zane?
Yeah, dude.
You know any interesting people? I don't have any friends. You got to help me out here. Except you.
What about I don't know. I'm like a lot of people. You should have Chris Pendleton on.
Fuck that guy. No, I'm just kidding. He's awesome. We should have him on.
I have great conversations with that guy. So
he's great.
He'd be fun. Who else to hit up? I don't know.
You don't have to actually answer that question.
I'll tell you later.
All right.
There's people in this town, There's some cool people.
There's some folks, couple of folks.
This is
you should invite Donald Trump on, I think.
We'll send it. We'll hit him up on the
you should have a debate between him and Amy Goodman from Democracy Now!
He would never do that. There's no way he would.
I could imagine her grilling him and then blah, 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 blah.
No.
Plus, I would be so intimidated trying to moderate a debate with her in it.
I would want somebody on his intellectual level like Kim Kardashian.
Oh, man.
That would be a debate worth flushing down a toilet.
What about that blonde girl on Fox that he hates?
Oh, he's not doing the Fox debate because of her.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he's like, because mean old Blondie is going to be mean and Blondie to me.
All right. Anyway, this has been The Problem with Everything.
Have a good week.
Peace out.
What do you got there, mate?
Okay.
Is that a little monster in your pocket? Are you just
a
happy
little
to see me?
monster. A little monster.
Well, you survived, everybody. You made it this long through the abuse and through the art-tardedness of us.
Art-tarded.
Yeah. And now we're going to reward you with a good song.
Yeah. Because the other 3 Batwing songs fucking sucked that we've played so
Actually, not a good song. Great song.
There's no such thing as a bad Batwing song, but this one is exceptional. It's called Monster. And we'll see you next week.
Perfect except for everything. Change is the only thing constant today or tomorrow. Whether I'm a hero or monster, an imposter of the genuine article. My heart is so twisted up, but what's fucked up's time to come down for what's up. Get back up, fill my cup up to the brim, causing earthquakes on a whim. I'm him in front of that majestic. No rest for the wicked. It's just another sick kid flipping cryptic scripture. got that complex simplicity. Don't listen to me, listen to the wind in the trees. I hear God talking to me, so please believe what we're down here in the grease, paying fees for diseases. Where's Jesus when you need him? I seen him on TV last week, saying death to the meat creature, comforts for the weak-minded. All the time, it's time for it.